Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhetamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti 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 Shruti Smriti Puranana Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavad Pada Shankaram Loka Shankaram Shankaram Shankaracharya Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah. Arjuna was Dehi. Arjuna asked a question to Krishna saying that your Janma is of recent times, whereas Vivaswan was born long ago. Aparam bhavato janma param janma vivasvataha. Katham etad vijaniyam. How can I know that Tamadav Proktavaniti, that you told this to him? Your Janma is only of recent times. And Bhagavan in answer just says, you had many bahuni me janmani vyatitani janmani tavacharjuna tanyaham veda sarvani cha natvam veda parantapa. He says, you had many janmas, I had many janmas, I remember all of them, you don't remember any of them. Here we have to analyze something, and that is the Arjuna was a Dehi, and a given Deha is subject to death, is subject to be gone for good, and all the memories that are with reference to that body also can be forgotten. All the objects can be forgotten, all the relationships can be forgotten, and a given Janma can be forgotten, a given body can be forgotten, and all that is referring to that body also can be forgotten. And therefore, you don't remember anything. Whereas Bhagavan Krishna was being Paramatma, is a Drashta, he is the seer of everything. As the seer, he sees all the memories as well as forgettings. He sees both, and therefore he is only the seer. He is only the subject. He cannot be objectified, and therefore he sees all the objects. The memories he sees, and the memories gone also he sees. He sees all the janmas, and therefore this is also from the point of view of avidya, please. Avatarvada is not real. As long as Jagat is real, Avatara is real. When Jagat is false, Avatara also is false. Avatara is Avatarati Asmin Iti Avatara. Bhagavan himself descends into a form. The formless descends into a form is what is called Avatara. And the formless appearing as a form is also an Avatara. As long as he can descend only into a form in Jagat, and as long as Jagat looks real, Avatar also looks real. Jagat is Karya Karana Bhava, is a Prakriya, is a Shruti Prakriya, and therefore Avatar Vada also is a matter of Prakriya. It is a matter of Prakriya, it is not a reality. The reality is only that he is non-dual. He is one without a second, and he is free from Karya Karana Bhava, cause and effect relation, creation. From his point of view, there is no prapancha. From prapancha point of view only, there is prapancha. We talk about the prapancha only from the prapancha point of view. We don't talk about the prapancha from his point of view, his nature's point of view. And therefore, Tanyaham Ved Sarvani Natvam Vedha Parantapa. He Parantapa, he Arjuna, Parantapayati iti Parantapa. You are you scorch the enemies, you defeat the enemies, you torment the enemies, and therefore you are called the Parantapa. And hey Parantapa, understand, even though you are Parantapa, you don't know the Jiva, as a Dehi, you are being subject to taking another form. You are being subject to take. इधर लाना, ये क्या हो गया? You are subject to taking another form is anadi. You are being subject to taking another form is anadi. Is anadi adhyaskritam. Whereas this form is non-eternal. Whereas being subject to taking another form is eternal. As long as adhyasa is there, so long it is there. And now Bhagavan says, and therefore I remember all the janmas. You don't remember all the janmas. And therefore you are Atma, you are eternal. And I remember all of them. I am eternal. And you are nothing but, you are none other than myself. And therefore, ajopi sanna, avyatma, bhutanam ishwaropi sanna, prakritim swam adhishtaya, sambhavami atma maya. Bhagavan says, I become an avatara only when ajopi sanna. Even though I remaining non-dual, remaining free from causation, ajopi sanna, remaining unborn, remaining one without a second, avyatma, remaining without change also, avyatma, bhutanam ishwaropi sanna. And as a matter of prakriya, even though I am the source of all the whole jagat, I remain avyaha, I remain ajaha. Prakritim swam adhisthaya, keeping my maya under control, keeping my maya under control without coming under its spell, sambhavami atma maya. Atma maya, I descend into a form. Atma maya, through my maya, I am born. Through my maya, I am born. What does it mean? It means that I take a form, even though I am the formless, but yet I get into the form, keeping all the ignorance and maya, the sense of reality under my control. I don't look upon anything as real. I look upon everything as false, as maya. Keeping the maya under control means keeping the maya, understanding the maya as maya. That is what is called controlling maya. So keeping the maya or the wave under control means looking at the wave as a form. That is what is called keeping the maya under control. Understanding it to be water. Understanding the whole maya as himself. Sambhavami Atma Maya. And it is Atma Maya. And the Maya is not something other than the Atma. And therefore it is called Atma Maya. All Bhranti is only belonging to Atma. Avidya belongs to Atma. Without Atma, there will be no Avidya. There will be no Maya. Maya is a prakriya, please. Maya, there is no Maya. Maya is avidya kalpita avyakrita nama rupa. And therefore, in that form, in that way, Bhagavan descends into heaven, descends into a form, and therefore he is called Avatara. Prakritim swam adhishtaya. Prakritim means Maya. Prakriti is another word for Maya. Shakti is another word for Maya. Prakriti is another word for Maya. Shakti is another word for Maya. And therefore, call it Maya, call it Shakti, call it Prakriti. Prakritim swam adhishtaya. That Prakriti also belongs to himself. It is non-separate from himself. That is why it is called swam. Prakritim swam adhishtaya. Keeping in view that the Maya is Maya. That is the control over Maya. Understanding the Maya as Maya is what is called understanding, keeping it under control. Understanding the false as false. Understanding the false as false and living with the false. Understanding the false as false is what is called controlling the Maya. Controlling the false. Understanding Maya as Maya is what is called controlling Maya. Swam adhishtaya sambhavami atma maya. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir-bhavati bharata. Yada yada hi, whenever dharmasya, dharmaka, glanir-bhavati. Glani means eclipse. Whenever there is an eclipse over dharma, glanir-bhavati bharata. Hey Bharata, Bharatavarsha Kulodbhava, Bharatavarsha Kulodbhava. This particular country is called Bharatam. That is why it's called Bhaha, means Brahma Vidya. Everyone is supposed to be reveling in Brahma Vidya, and therefore it is called Brahma Bharata, Bharatam. And Arjuna was addressed as Bharata. Hey Bharatiya, hey Bharatiya, hey Bharata, Bharatavarsha Kulodbhava. Yada yada hi dharmasya, whenever there is dharma, dharma is eclipsed by adharma. Eclipsed, it cannot be negated, it cannot be uprooted. Dharma cannot be uprooted, adharma also cannot be uprooted. Both will be there in this world. Good and evil, good and bad, both will be there in this world. And Satyam means the truth. The truth cannot go, the truth cannot change, the truth cannot be disproved, and dharma also cannot be. Dharma also cannot change. Dharma, I don't want to be told a lie. This can never change, and therefore dharma is eternal, and satyam also is eternal. The only difference is dharma has a fruit, and satyam has no fruit. Dharma can transform into sukham, adharma can transform into dukkham, whereas satyam cannot transform into anything. Satyam remains satyam. Dharma, dharma can be a person can commit adharma and justify his adharma, whereas satyam also can be interpreted in his own way, in his own subjective way, and justify it. But then, really the truth, the satyam, cannot be disproved, whereas dharma and adharma can be disproved, please. Can be disproved in the sense the very dharma, the moola dharma, when the prapancha can be disproved, when the individuality can be disproved, dharma and adharma also can be disproved. Whereas the satyam, the oneness, cannot be disproved. There cannot be any badha to satyam. Everything else can be disproved except your existence. Your existence is of paramount importance. Your existence is all important. Your existence cannot be disproved. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir-bhavati bharata. And whenever there is dharma, dharma is eclipsed by adharma, tada abhyuthanam adharmasya. When the adharma becomes more, when the adharma overweighs the dharma, tadatmanam srijamyaham. At that time, at that time, atmanam, apne aap ko, srijami, I create, aham, I create myself. I come into being, I come into a form, and to correct the balance. That is exactly what Rama did. That is exactly what Krishna did. That is what exactly every avatara does. That's what exactly every good human being does. Every good human being can be considered as an avatar of Bhagavan. Is divinity. There is an amsha of divinity in him. Every good human being is an amsha of divinity. He is an amsha of Parameshwara himself. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata. If there is, dharma eclipsed by adharma, at that time I create myself. And that so says Bhagavan Krishna. Paritranaya sadhunam. And this is also sambhavami atma sambhavami yuge sambhavami srijamyaham tadatmanam srijamyaham. When he says that, also it is only a part of prakriya, it is not a reality, because when the jagat can be disproved, Bhagavan also appearing himself can also be disproved. Bhagavan appearing himself as avatar also can be disproved. That also has badha. and therefore it is a part of Prakriya. Jagat is a part of Prakriya, and therefore avatar also is a part of Prakriya. It is not the nature of Bhagavan. It is not the nature of Bhagavan. Nature means that which can never change. It will always remain the same. Like the subject remains always the subject. He can never become objectified. He is not subject to objectification. So used to say Hamara teacher, Hamara Guruji. Puja Swamiji used to say that the subject is not subject to objectification. Subject is always the subject. And therefore, this is also from Avatarvada has to be understood only as a part of Prakriya, as a part of the Prapancha, as a part of the society. When the society can be disproved, disproval in the light of the truth. You cannot disprove it in the Laukika manner. You can only disprove it in the spiritual manner. In the light of your existence, the whole society, the whole creation is non-separate from yourself. What you see is not separate from yourself. If what you see is non-separate from yourself, then you alone are there. You are independent of what you see, but what you see is not independent of you. The wave is not independent of water. Waterness is independent of waveness, whereas waveness is not independent of waterness. In this manner, your existence is independent. The subject is independent of the object. The object is not independent of the subject. And the object is non-separate from the subject. If the object is non-separate from the subject, then the subject alone is there without that name subject. In relation to the object, it is called the subject. But if the object is non-separate from the subject, then the subject is non-dual without that name the subject. It is a non-dual being. It is a non-dual Brahman. It is a non-dual Brahman. And therefore, it is Ekameva Advitiyam. And therefore, that is its nature. To be non-dual is its nature. The object being non-separate from the subject is its nature. Oneness, ekatvam is its nature. Ekatvam of the subject is its nature. And the subject-object relation is a bhranti. Subject-object relationship is a bhranti. And a bhranti is something that is described by the Shruti as Maya. Bhranti, it is Bhranti Kalpitam. And therefore, Avatarvada should be taken only as a part of Prakriya, not as a reality, not as the nature of Bhagavan. Paritranaya sadhunam. Why do you take avatara? Paritranaya sadhunam. In order to protect the good people. Paritranaya sadhunam. Sadhu means a good human being. There are people in this world, there are good people. A good person is not a religious person. A religious person need not be a good person. But a person who follows dharma is a good person. A religious person may be following all rituals and he may be still cheating others. A religious person is different from a good human being. A good human being is one who follows values, who follows dharma. I don't want to be told a lie, and therefore I don't tell lies to others. I don't want to be cheated, and therefore I don't cheat others. I don't want to be hurt, and therefore I should not hurt others. This is what is called values. These values, I want to be respected, and therefore I have to respect others. This is called dharma. And the one who follows dharma is indeed a sadhu. Sadhanoti parakaryamiti sadhu. The one who helps others is also called sadhu. The one who achieves the supreme, the understanding of the truth is also called sadhu. Sadhanoti parakaryam. Parakaryam means parasya janasya karyam, also parasya atmanaha karyam. Paramatma's karyam is to understand the Paramatma. Parajanasya karyam means you help others. You help others. Helping others make you a good human being. And understanding the truth makes you a spiritual human being. A spiritual human being is always a good human being. A good human being need not be spiritual, please. A good human being is a dharmika, is a dharmika. Spirituality guarantees dharma, but dharma need not guarantee spirituality, please. But then in Laukika Vyavahara, in this empirical world, a good human being has to be protected. Then alone goodness is protected. Unless you protect a good human being, you cannot protect goodness. This also used to be told by my Puja Swamiji, my Guruji. Paritranaya sadhana. In order to protect the good human beings, vinashaya cha dushkritam, and in order to eliminate, in order to remove the bad, in order to remove the bad. The evil ones are those who torment the good, who torment the good, who torment the good, who 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 disturb the good. Paritranaya sadhuna vinashaya cha dushkritam. And therefore, and you can't, even Bhagavan cannot destroy the entire evil. The evil will always remain. It is a world of both good and evil, please. Sometimes the good wins, sometimes the evil wins. But sometimes the good wins, sometimes the evil wins. But is it true, Swamiji, the evil wins? Yes, the evil wins. The evil also can win sometimes. The evil also can win sometimes. Yes. But when Bhagavan comes, I protect the good and destroy the evil. And that is my job. Dharma samsthapanarthaya. And in order to establish dharma again, in order to correct the imbalance between dharma and adharma, dharma samsthapanarthaya, sambhavami, I take birth again, yuge, again and again. Yuge need not mean only once in a yuga. In fact, every minute there is a yuga. Every minute there can be an avatara. An avatar, God can, divinity can appear in the form of a good human being. A good human being who protects the good and destroys the evil. He is an avatar. He is an amsha. He is a part of divinity. And he should be taken as an avatar. Every minute can be yuga, please. Yuga need not be Kali Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, Kali Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, Treta Yuga, Satya Yuga, like this. You need not mention only 4 yugas. There can be countless yugas. There can be countless yugas. These countless yugas are countless minutes, countless seconds. Every second there can be, Bhagavan can appear in the form of some good human being in order to protect the good. Sometimes the evil wins, sometimes the good wins. But sometimes when the good wins, only it wins only by the help of Parameshwara. Nothing can be achieved without the help of Parameshwara, without the anugraha of Parameshwara. Even gods cannot achieve victory. In Kenopanishad we have got a story in which it is said, gods achieved, Agni, Varuna, all these people achieved victory over the evil. And then the one Yaksha came and appeared before them. And that Yaksha was none other than Parameshwara. And Parameshwara said, this victory has come to you not because of yourself, but because of my support. Because my presence is there in all of you. It is because of my underlying presence you have been able to, but it is because of my anugraha you have been able to, it is a law, you have been able to achieve victory over the evil. Don't arrogate to yourself the victory. Don't be arrogant. Understand, recognize the Parameshwara behind all your achievements. Parameshwara's anugraha is there. And therefore, Sambhavami yuge. And therefore, in order to help the good, to achieve the goodness, in order to help the good and destroy the bad, evil, I come back, I take birth again and again. Yuge should mean again and again. again and again, again and again, yuga yuga. In every minute I can appear in some form or the other. Sambhavami yuga yuga. And the more of it we will see in the next class. Thank you very much. Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.